Hi there, I'm Tercy, and I'd like to take a moment and welcome you to the Unreasonably Grateful podcast. I'm grateful that you're here. Many of you are new, some of you have been with me for a good while now, and I want to make sure that you know that I don't take it lightly. I appreciate you being a part of my journey and allowing me to be a part of your journey as well. So thank you. Thank you for being here. And as always, if you talk to someone or you get a nudge that someone maybe would be interested or benefit from listening in, invite them, remembering that an invitation, a real invitation, is who I am is love, and I'm here to serve you and ask without attachment. So, yeah, they're always welcome. I love every week I learn about new people, oftentimes surprising or unexpected people for me that are listening in. And once again, I'm grateful for you. So, just a reminder that I, every week, right now, I'm currently reading stories from my book, which are just opportunities, stories I've collected over the years, my now 38 years of recovery from 20 years of dealing with an eating disorder or addiction. And, while there's wisdom in those years, it's my opportunity to just share my story, let some of that wisdom trickle out. And hopefully, while I don't have your answers, you have your own answers. Hopefully, by sharing my stories, you see something for yourself in a new way that gives you a little bit more space in your journey, a little bit more wiggle room, an opportunity to grow and learn and expand. So that's my hope. And yeah, I know that I learn from other people's stories. And so I'm courageous enough to share my own. And I also just want to say, like many people have shared with me, we get stopped by that voice in our head, which diminishes us or doubts us or questions us. And I have that too. And sometimes it just sounds like, yeah, who are you to do what you do? And I just want to say that who I am is someone who's on my own journey. And I just am willing to share that process, come along beside you in the hopes that we can journey together and become who I believe we were designed and created to be. All right. So, um, also, we have a brand new grandbaby born this morning, and new life always gives me new opportunities to just reflect on the beauty of recovery, how much I might have missed had I not, those 38 years ago, listened to that small internal voice that I believe all of us have that guides us in miraculous ways. Um, I wouldn't have these 15 grandchildren to celebrate, and the beauty of watching my parents, my children, and my husband's children, um, become amazing parents, raising this next generation. So grateful for that. Okay, so this particular story is called Miracles, and it's 1972 is the year. It's chapter 47, and it's on page 73 if you happen to be following along in my book by the same name of this podcast, and Reasonably Grateful, Living in Grace by Choice. The flight crew started talking about renting a ski boat on our layover and going water skiing. I love water sports. Tahoe was beautiful and warm, and the water was crisp. My favorite combination. I didn't bring a bathing suit on the trip, but the flight engineer offered to take me shopping. I don't remember much, except I loved the yellow suit we found. And while I was sensitive about the price tag, he said he wanted to pay for it. I liked it enough to push past my discomfort in receiving the gift. Leaving Chicago a few days earlier, we had all become quick friends. It wasn't every flight crew that enjoyed each other as much as this one did. On the water, we took turns skiing. I was excited and a bit nervous, waiting for my turn. I floated in the water. I floated in the water skis while the boat started picking up speed. And soon I was up. The wind, the water, the sound of the spray, and the faces of my new friends encouraged me on. Crisscrossing the wake added an extra thrill. And then suddenly, the slack in the tow rope drew taut, and I fell forward with a jerk. I let go of the rope, and while underwater, realized that I haven't even thought about my new upper denture, but it was gone. I thought there is no way I'm coming up without my teeth. I'd rather die first. I silently called out, God, please. When I opened my eyes, I saw them floating down in front of me, heading for the bottom and out of sight. I reached out, grabbed them, put them in my mouth, and popped up to the surface, just as the boat had circled around to pick me up. I took a deep breath and was flooded with gratitude as they pulled me in. Now, I don't know the chances of that happening, but I've tried in a pool, no boat, no speed, to see how fast they sink. And it's fast enough that I call what happened a miracle. Whenever I question God, I remember this, and my experience always outweighs my doubt. I've also learned to always close my mouth when doing anything that could jar them loose again. You see, I think it would have been easy for me to surface and call it a coincidence or luck, but in doing so, I would have diminished how cared for I was. So, the lesson on this chapter is take a breath. Go ahead, expand your chest, open your heart, and feel the blessing that belongs in your story. You know, I was sharing with my son earlier this week, who's going through a lot right now, feeling really challenged, confronted. And I was explaining to him how it's oftentimes in those moments when we feel hopeless or like we just want to die, like it's all too big, that the miraculous actually occurs. And I was telling him I can remember the handful of times in my life when I've let go of all my efforts and I've just cried out, God, please help me. And those moments are what strengthens my faith in times of doubt. So this week, while I believe that all of us doubt, and some of us may not even have that much faith, try it. Call out. Call out for help, even if you don't believe in a God. Call out. Just see what happens when you let go of efforting and you're willing to just explore the idea that there's a force, there's a power that's bigger and greater than you, that actually is for you, working on your behalf, is with you, and maybe just waiting for you to be willing to receive that kind of love. Okay? So thank you again for being a part of my journey, and I'll see you next week.